This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 98 of the Healthy Critters Radio on the Horse Radio Network. Healthy Critters Radio is brought to you by Biostar US. Find them online at biostarus.com.
On today's show, we talk with artist Helen George. In Tigipedia, we address what foods help ligaments and tendons. In Critter Nutrition, Tigger talks about the process of saying goodbye. And in Coffee Klatch, we ask, what animal you don't currently live with would you like to invite for Thanksgiving dinner? Join us. I'm Tigger Montague.
And I'm Patty Peruggi.
Welcome to Healthy Critters.
Yo, Tiggy.
Yo, Patty P.
The season is upon us once again.
It's gone so fast.
I know. It really has. I can't believe Thanksgiving's coming up. So, what do you have planned? What do you normally?
I love Thanksgiving. Not only because it's Thanksgiving and I don't do the whole, pilgrim thing.
Seeing you in a little pilgrim outfit right now, like that I got to tell you what, I hadn't even thought about that, but go ahead. Sorry.
I have Native American ancestry, so there's a real conflict. So the way I deal with Thanksgiving is I get in my favorite sweatpants, and Peter and I have already pre-ordered from Whole Foods, and he goes the day before and he picks up all the fixings because we're vegetarians. And so on Thanksgiving Day, I spend the day in my sweats.
Can I come to your house for Thanksgiving?
That kind of sounds nice.
I kind of like that. No cooking, no cleaning up.
Well, you do have a little, you still have plates and, Peter makes wicked fresh mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we usually have a nice fire in the fireplace and have a nice, sort of late afternoon meal and light a few candles to, send our good thoughts forward. And basically, I never get out of my sweats or my bathrobe. So it's an awesome day.
I can see you out in the barn with those on, by the way.
Oh, it will.
Of course.
It depends if it's cold, then I'll have a, down jacket on and the very fashionable LL Bean footwear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, there's nobody coming to visit, so the horses don't seem to mind.
I don't think it's accidental, by the way, that Carhartts fit beautifully over pajamas.
Yes.
So, Patty P., what does your Thanksgiving look like?
Well, because I just moved back to Texas, and my middle daughter, Hannah, who is in Virginia, not far from little Tiggy, just got married. And our original plan was we were going to head back to Virginia, but my son, who's in his last year of school, was playing football, and there were some playoffs games that they were going to happen on Friday, which obviously everybody knows football's a big deal during Thanksgiving. So I think that we will end up staying here. And, we've been invited to a couple different people's houses, but my husband is a good cook, and we have started a tradition. And unfortunately, my oldest daughter, who is in Wellington, is pregnant and is not going to be able to travel. And Hannah and Parker want to be at their house for their first year. But we've started this family tradition of Bloody Marys.
Awesome.
Yeah. And last year, I got to tell you, we may have partaken. Is that a word? Partaken? In a few too many, but I'll tell you what, they're pretty good. So I think Peter and I have decided we're definitely going to go that route again, do some Bloody Marys, and then just, spend some time together and just, we have a lot to be thankful for. We've had a lot of changes in this past year that have been good and some hard. We just lost Peter's mother a couple weeks ago, which is, even though it was her time and she definitely had been around the sun many, many, many times, it was still a very, hard thing. But we have a lot of things to be thankful for. So I'm feeling pretty happy about going into, where we all are with everything. So we'll just enjoy a dinner together, and then Peter actually will head to Virginia on Friday morning. and I'll stay here and ride ponies. So, but which is kind of like my normal thing. So, yeah, so it'll be good.
And how about you, Jennifer?
Our Thanksgiving is probably closer to what you and Peter do. We tend to try to sleep in a little bit. Mm-hmm. We will either take the ponies out for a cruise around the neighborhood or the bicycles, depending upon the weather. And we go down the street to Glenn's Brothers for a partly prefabricated dinner. Thank you very much, Earth Fair. Mm-hmm. And we sit back and we relax, just kind of hang around and chat. And Glenn and his brother and his brother's wife all sit around and share stories from their childhood because they all grew up in a little tiny town and know everybody who's everybody. And I just am fascinated by the fact that they all grew up in a place where they all knew each other and everybody knew everybody in the same town. It was crazy weird. It's like sitting with Beaver Cleaver. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, and so it's a very relaxing. I do unfortunately have to put real clothing on. I'm not allowed to go to my brother-in-law's house in my pajamas, Tigger. But, yeah,
darn.
Yeah,
that's just silly. That's just silly. Yeah.
I'm hoping I can do some heavy duty, binge watching on Disney Plus if I ever get to work.
Oh, we could add that to our Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Disney Plus. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know what your Thanksgiving traditions are by sending us a postcard at Healthy Critters Radio at Biostar US. We've got a great show coming up. I can't wait to talk to Helen. She's one of Patty and my, it's a really good friend of both of us.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're really excited to have her on the show. So let's welcome her. And we're here today with our good friend, Helen George, who not only is a dressage judge, but a really fantastic artist. And her works incorporate horsehair and horseshoes that you can actually personalize. And one of the reasons that I asked Helen to come on Healthy Critters today was being the holidays, and this is a perfect time to have a memento made of a dog you said goodbye to, or a horse, and her work is
amazing.
So memorable and amazing. So welcome, Helen.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
So how did you get started with, can you describe a little bit about the horsehair designs you do?
Well, it was interesting how I got started with, because it was many years ago. I trained a local vet's horse eons ago, and he was older. I don't know if he died of old age or was euthanized, but the other trainer at his barn got some of the hair, and there was a local lady. We're out here in rural Goochland in Virginia, and there was a local lady that did horsehair pottery, where you burn the hair on it, and then you take a little bit of the hair and braid it around like the neck of a jar or vessel. And so Jessica got in the hair, and I had it in my car, and I was going to drop it off there. And I get there, and the place is closed. And she had moved to Alaska. So I had this pair, and I thought, so I just tried to figure out. I thought, there's something we could do with it. And so many people do bracelets and things like that. And first of all, this was for a male vet, and that wasn't going to fly. But so I wound up doing a collage with it. And, I just braided it in a simple braid, used the own hair to tie off the ends, cut all the scraggly pieces off, and then I got some actually hay from his barn, and and someone had found a 4-leaf clover. Pressed that, and so there was like kind of cool things in the collage that were actually from the farm. So that was the first one. It was just something I invented because I had this hair, and Jess and I wanted to do something for him, and and then it kind of just went on from there. So
cool.
Well, I have to say that you made one, and this was many years before Lionheart. My Lionheart actually passed, and gave it to me as a gift, and she braided the tail hair into a musical note.
Oh, cool!
And it's the
what do you call that? It's a
clef
treble
note.
clef.
Yeah,
treble clef. In the beginning of the song or whatever.
Right. And
I don't know the right word.
I have it hanging, and I walk by it every day. And she's also done some of my dogs that have passed, taken the hair and made these really cool collages with pressed flowers, and it's such a great memento. Or even if your animal is still living and still with you, it's just a great
like Lion was still
gift.
with you. You don't.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to wait because something can happen tragically too, and
right.
And you don't always get hair. And not that I want to talk about that, but I remember you as well, Tigger, because I got to go out west with you, and I tried to do those Southwest colors, and that's like I try to do color schemes that fit with either a person's home or their own preferences and such.
Yeah, it's very personalized, and
absolutely,
that makes it even more special. But the horseshoes are relatively new.
Oh, cool! That's
a really cool thing you're doing with the horseshoes.
Yeah, just take a shoe. I don't do tons of them because they bother my hands a little bit because I'm wrapping the wires so tight around them and stuff. But they're fun to do, to design with the different color schemes and I try to find, good, recycled beads, glass beads, check beads. But I usually use like a 3-color scheme because I'll do like a ribbon or a burlap ribbon or cords, and I have to have 3 because I'll braid them to finish it off, to hang it, and then use the stones or the beads or, and you can, I've made them some that are just obnoxiously blingy as you can want, or really simple and beautiful, like with just, brown stones and stuff. So those are fun too. And it's just.
What's your most fun? What's your most fun thing to do?
Most fun thing to do?
Like what do you enjoy the most when somebody sends you something? Because I mean, Helen's done some stuff for me for horses that have passed as well, and it's always so perfect in every way. But I feel like every time I get something, there's so much thought and emotion, and and you're like,
well, the collages take more for sure. They take, because everybody looks at it and goes, well, not everybody, but some people can look at it and go, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
But, as an artist, you would not believe how much I fool around with something. Mm-hmm. And it's not just, because I have so many also handmade papers that I've bought from other artists. I've wanted to try to do that myself, but I have not yet. And then manufactured beautiful, like Japanese papers or things like that I've been incorporating. And, once I know like the color scheme for someone, or the desired colors, I'll pull out papers and I'll pull out whatever. Because my studio's got a whole bunch of junk in it, lots of great stuff. And then I'll change my mind a bazillion times. And then I work when I really try to make a composition out of it too, so it's balanced and not just thrown together. The last ones I've been doing some altered photographs with some now.
Oh, that's cool.
Because people have been requesting that. So I made them a little bit bigger because with the photograph, I just need more space to work around to figure out how to incorporate the photograph in it and add collage to it and add the hair to it.
And they're framed, correct?
Yeah, the original ones, I got a deal. I went to a local store and there were these great frames that had that, if you remember yours, Tigger, it's got a double mat, but the double mat is like really deep. Yeah. So it's kind of cool that the hair goes across it and, goes over it. But the image itself is only 4x6. So when I started doing some photographs in it, I was like, it needs. So what I've been doing, I found these shadow boxes that don't look too shadow boxy, if you know what I mean. And they're like 8x12. So because I just need more space to add a photograph to it. So But and these are probably you could lean up against on a desk or things like that, but or hang on the wall. The others had that little the thingamajiggy where you can put on a desk or you can hang on the wall.
Oh, right.
It's still either or.
Hmm.
So what kind of lead time is there if somebody, contacts you? What's the normal lead time?
Usually a good 2 weeks, depending on how busy I am. Like right now it's Christmas. I've got a couple, orders, but I do gift certificates. So
good to know.
Christmas is like right around the corner. Oh my God. But I think it's, and I've had, so there was one cool one I made, and it was this was some years ago, and it was a barn in Long Island, and the students got together for the trainer, and the trainer bred these horses, and they were all kind of had something with martini in their names. So the image itself was, cut out with different papers and things like that. But it was basically, there was a martini glass. So you could recognize a martini glass. And then the horse had, I don't remember now, 3 or 4 foals. And they had all the hair from the horses.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I had the original hair with the big swirl that I made. And then, the martini glass with olives.
Uh-huh.
So there were all these little squirrels, which were her babies. So that was really cute to do. That worked out really well. I was like, so that was fun. So that's like, like what Patty was asking me, what I like. I mean, I like to do the horseshoes; they're fun, but the collages are more creative. I get a lot out of those.
Yeah.
And does somebody just send you the horseshoes of their horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I have a couple. Horse Hippie has some of my horseshoes, and I sent some at Equus Art Gallery in New York and Red Hook. She's putting a couple in her. I just sent her some. We actually did a trade. She's been doing this amazing art. She's the gallery owner. It's Equus Art Gallery, and it's all horse stuff. And she ships internationally, and she's like got beautiful stuff in it. And she's a photographer and did beautiful horse photography, but she's into, and Tigger, you would love her stuff. It's like skulls and bones and really esoteric. It's just beautiful stuff. And there was one piece I really liked, and so I traded her half money and half free horseshoes, which is putting the shoes in the gallery. So it's perfect. So bartering is wonderful.
What is the best way to get in touch with you? Is it on your Facebook page, Studio Stell?
It's on my Facebook page, yeah, Studio Stell. I get that darn. See, I was good. I didn't say a bad word. That
no
darn
New Jersey
website,
came out today.
Eventually, which will be studiostell.com, but it's Studio Stell on Facebook. And then Instagram, I don't think there's a lot of, I'll put some horseshoe stuff. I'll put some stuff up after this. Instagram is Helen George 1115.
Okay. And it's Studio STELL.
Yes.
And you can contact Helen on Facebook.
And what I like to do with people I don't know, because it's easy in a way to do people I know, because I know them and I know what they like and I talk to them, whatever. But I do like to sort of kind of almost interview people.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost like to do it over phone sometimes too, if people don't mind talking to me over the phone instead of just, emailing or texting, just because, things come up and I find out more.
It makes it more personal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like there was a woman from Patty down in Texas.
Oh.
And she was in the hill country, and she did German, I don't remember what breed, but it's one of the German warm bloods that she was breeding and such. And her husband was doing this on the fly for her for Christmas. And I had this gorgeous paper that, and she liked fall colors. So I had this gorgeous, it was Japanese paper with these gorgeous fall colors that I cut into like mountains.
Oh, wow.
And then I made the sun in the colors of the German flag.
Oh, wow.
And then the hair, it was really cool. So that was fun. So there's just so much you can do. You
do dogs as well, because I have a couple dog collages.
What dogs did I do? I don't even remember.
You did Sweetie and Raven. the wolves.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I remember. And I think, anything that I kind of believe it was the same with my riding or with judging with the horses or coaching. Even though I work very much part-time now because of my back, I still attend clinics, read articles, read books, do blah, blah, blah. I still want to be better, even if I do it on such a limited basis. And as far as the art goes, I still always want to be better. So I think it's kind of cool to look back and see. And I don't use quite as much dried. I figured out, because some of the dried plants that I used in the beginning, even though I put so much artist quality,
Lacquer.
shellac kind of lacquer, on it, they, the colors just change. And it's fine, but it's not what I intended, which is, and again, it's fine, but I was like, oh, I didn't know that would all go to a light beige,
Yeah.
But so I've found out what hellebores, which is a really cool flower that blooms late winter, and it's sort of they press really well because a lot of flowers don't press as great. They press really well, and they hold their color. At least I've had some that I've done years ago, and they're still holding their color. But
wow.
But I've kind of gone away a little bit. I add a little bit of it depends on what I'm doing. I add a little bit of it depends what a person wants to. So
yeah,
Well, I hope all our listeners out here go check out Studio Stell on Facebook and, at least start a conversation with Helen and have a wonderful personalized piece of art that is all about your animal and your relationship. So thank you, Helly, for joining Healthy Critters.
It was great to talk to you, and I'm honored that you asked me. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Yay!
We'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye, Helly.
You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.
You too, sweetie.
Bye.
Hetty?
Your number came up all weird. We didn't know it was you at all.
Okay, seriously, that was funny.
Well,
Well done, man. Well done.
you go around with like weird ass numbers and we don't know who you are. You cannot expect me to answer the phone. I keep the servant on staff for this very reason. I'm busy and important and famous. And everyone wants to talk to me. So if you think that just anyone can talk to me, you're wrong. I have a lot going on. I am important.
I cannot believe we let that happen. What a faux pas on us.
Well, exactly. And I think it's nice that you're realizing that this was really your fault.
I'm just ashamed.
Yeah,
I'm ashamed.
I figure you must be.
Yeah.
Jennifer?
Hello, Hedwig. How are you?
Hello, Jennifer.
Aw, I feel so loved. Hedwig
I
likes
like
me best.
Jennifer. It's true.
Yep.
I definitely don't like Tigger best. Tigger wrote a mean song about me.
Oh, that's not true.
It is so true. And just you wait, Tigger. It's going to be a long January. And then a really long February. You think it's a short month. It's not a short month. You're going to wish it was a short month when I'm done with you and your puppy.
Well, Hedwig, during the long and longer months of winter in Wellington, there's liable to be some downtime. There's liable to be some time where the servant or you want to just sit around and do something kind of brain-free and relaxing. And sometimes
Have you met my servant? I mean, every day is pretty much brain-free for her.
Well, there you go. Well, this might be a good question then. Well, oftentimes for us girls, one of the things we like to do when we need to while away a little time and not have to work real hard is paint our fingernails. And I want to know how you feel about fingernail paint on both servants and dogs.
You've never met my servant, have you?
I've not met your servant because you don't let your servant out a lot.
Good
Yeah,
point.
so just to clarify, she's not really that type of girl.
Uh-huh.
She's more the, well, have you ever seen Marines at all?
Hetty,
What?
that is not true.
That is definitely not true.
That
but
is
it's
not
funny.
true. I'm calling you out on
It's a
that.
little bit true. No, you can say whatever you want. I mean, it's a free country, sort of, as long as you're not on Fox News. But right now, we're saying true things out loud. So let's be fair. The last time she got her fingernails painted, she was 12 and wearing an ice skating costume.
I'd love to see a picture of that.
Yeah, so let's be clear.
Well, how about
People who
how
are
about
frequently called sir in grocery shops do not traditionally paint their nails or even have nails because they bite them so much because they're so stressed and their cuticles are bleeding because it's so cold here that their skin has cracked and it's just bleeding everywhere. It's really quite attractive.
well, how about nail polish for you?
Tigger, I'm going to ask you how long you think the period of time between when the servant comes home with me from the barn and when she leaves again for night check traditionally is. How long do you think that is normally? Several hours, no?
Uh-huh.
How long do you think I can make that feel?
like an eternity.
I'm guessing yes. Challenge accepted. Hold my beer. So, you can try. Of course, you're a toe grabber, just like that freaky Jim Coford. So you do have some issues. And I assume that they have something to do with your childhood or some major malfunction in your psyche. These are not my issues. Touch my toes and die.
Okay. Well, listeners, you've heard it right from the dog's mouth. No nail polish on the servant and no nail polish on the dog.
All
on
right.
the little dog. No, now I am considering if my servant dyes her hair blue again, that I too could have a little hair dye.
Oh, okay. Huh.
But I haven't decided what color yet, so perhaps our listeners would contribute some ideas.
I vote
Purple.
pink.
Dye.
Purple is good. I can easily move to the purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, purple might be better, or navy blue. I think I would look amazing with my cream bits dyed navy blue.
No, I don't think so.
Well, Tigger, you're getting a puppy, so your judgment is clearly faulty. To clarify, people
But have
who
you seen the
600
seen the
dogs,
puppy? Have you
Yes.
seen the puppy?
I have.
I'm
It
just
looks
telling
a
you.
lot like an Australian Shepherd.
You know what? It is.
Yeah, so I love my friend Sabi, but I have some deep-seated issues with the breed in general.
Okay, thanks, Hetty.
You're welcome. Live to serve.
We are at the Tigipedia portion of our show, and I thought it would be a great topic to talk about the best foods to help heal ligaments and tendons, because there are so many different things that are out there. And, Tigger, I feel like you know so much about this topic, and I'm sure there's always going to be more to learn. But what are some simple, well, I shouldn't say simple, what are some things that people could get started at if they're in a situation where they're dealing with having to think about this?
Well, I mean, if your horse has been diagnosed with a tendon or ligament injury or tear or strain, one of the very first things you want to do is get the horse on bovine colostrum, because bovine colostrum provides over 70 different growth factors. And these are factors that help with cell replication, which is really important in healing. So that would be step number one. Vitamin C is really good for connective tissue. And what I usually do is I provide it in the form of a whole orange. So I take an orange, I quarter it, I put it in a food processor and give it to the horse once a day. If your horse is metabolic or easy keeper, you can just get ascorbic acid. I don't think it's as good because an orange has all the cofactors, the bioflavonoids, rutin, vitamin C, but you definitely want to increase vitamin C for healing. That's kind of phase 1. And then phase 2, the body needs increased circulation for healing. And that's the benefit of things like stem cell and shockwave, laser therapy. But you can also increase something called nitric oxide. That's the master circulatory molecule of the body. And nitric oxide, it can be stimulated with this amino acid called arginine. And arginine is found in foods like oranges, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, brewer's yeast. So anything that will increase nitric oxide, that is, has a high arginine content, increases circulation, which drives more nutrients to the injured area. Another herb is amalaki, that's also known as Indian gooseberry. At Biostar, we use capros, which is a patented extract from Indian gooseberry that boosts nitric oxide by 50%. So that really increases circulation and speeds healing. So those are the things you can do to augment and actually cut some of the healing time by providing the body what it needs to heal and repair.
Real horses and real dogs are healthier, perform better, and recover more quickly on real food. That's why Biostar empowers horse and canine owners with 100% whole food nutrition, supplements, and feeding programs. Biostar products are made at their own certified non-GMO facility in Gordonsville, Virginia, using real fruit ingredients that are raw, freeze-dried, or dehydrated, never cooked, and are free from artificial flavors, colors, soy, corn, wheat, and molasses. The Biostar product line includes a wide range of whole food, horse and dog supplements, treats, and unique artisan poultices that embrace the ancient and traditional uses of clay and plants. Visit biostarus.com today and learn about whole foods and canine and equine nutrition so you can make the best decisions about the care and health of your horses and dogs. That's biostarus.com. Whole food nutrition the way nature intended.
So we're at Coffee Klatch, and I was wondering, for myself and our listeners, imagine a Thanksgiving and you get to invite an animal that you don't currently live with to have Thanksgiving dinner with you at your house. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it would be fun because it allows everybody to use their imagination. So, Jennifer?
Oh, I get to go first?
Yes. Who are you inviting?
This was tough.
Really?
This was
I was
tough.
just sitting here thinking, okay, how much time do I get? That's what I want to know.
This was really tough because I want to have a niffler over just because I want to have a niffler over.
I don't even know what a what?
A niffler.
I feel like she made that up.
I do too.
But I know she didn't. I know she didn't.
I'm not that clever. The niffler is the little black platypus-looking thing that is in Fantastic Beasts that runs around, gathers up shiny things, and puts them in the pouch.
Who wouldn't want that? Okay, well done, Jennifer. Well done.
Excellent.
I just want to do that, but then I thought, well, he would just run around the house, destroying things, and it says right in his description he makes a poor house pet. So I set that one aside, and I want to have a bunny over, and maybe a baby bunny. Because Thanksgiving is all about food, and there's nothing more freaking adorable than watching a bunny eat.
and sitting in his little place at the table.
And he's
with
going to have a
his
little basket to sit in.
lettuce and
he's going to have little
Yes!
vegetables. Yes.
Oh.
It's going to be a bunny. It's going to be a white bunny with a pink nose.
Oh,
That's what I'm going with.
That's kind of cute. Okay.
And we don't
I just
we don't eat bunnies at Thanksgiving, so we're good there.
no, we
No
don't.
awkward moments.
I just want to let you know I did look up to see if a niffler was real. Tigger, do you know the answer to this?
No.
It apparently is. It's a British beast. Fluffy, black, long-snouted, burrows, creatures. I don't even know what that word is.
You were
but
on
yes.
the fandom page for Fantastic Beasts.
No. There's. Oh, wait. You know what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, it's Pottermore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently
Look
in
at the
Potterland,
source,
it's
Patty.
yeah. Wait. Then it went on and it said something about glitters. I'm like, you know what, Tigger? It's not real. Sorry, girl. It's not. She wants really a platypus. There you go. I was like, huh. Okay. There you go.
Thank you, Patty. I needed a good laugh.
You're welcome. Leave it up to me. Tigger, what do you want? Besides the
You
niffler?
didn't answer.
Me? What?
What animal would you like to invite to your Thanksgiving dinner?
Okay, first off, there's not just one. Off the top of my head, who out there doesn't want a giraffe at Thanksgiving dinner? Somebody that is going to reach over and grab the food from the middle of the table. I mean, think about it.
With their long, skinny tongues.
Yeah, and it's just like in their little tongue, and they like eat something.
And their little tails swishing back and forth.
Oh,
happy.
and they, they're big, but they're not taking up that much room. So, like, who just wouldn't want that? Because that would be amazing. But honest and truly, if truth be known, I really would just like a sloth.
Sloths are your favorite animal in the world, aren't they?
They just, how can they not be? Because they just,
you know what? Your Thanksgiving dinner would take like 12 hours.
Yes. No, which I know it
Everyone would be cheesed and crackers with alcohol because while the sloth was still working on the hors d'oeuvres.
Just showing up, just getting to the table. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that
that's such a funny image. I love it.
Yeah. So, what about you, Tiggs?
A giant panda.
Of course.
Yeah.
Another one who's adorable when they chew.
Our Thanksgivings are vegetarian, so I, of course, needed to invite a vegetarian. And, I could supply the bamboo, no problem.
Yep. There you go. Oh,
Can't you see him sitting in his chair or her?
Oh, yeah.
With her stalk eating with those great eyes.
Oh. Yep. Yeah, I would.
Then you could just go over and hug it.
They're so big.
But they're so fluffy.
They're so big. And by the way, pandas, they're so fluffy. Pandas are real, by the way. Just because anybody, they're not from Harry Potter.
Thank you.
In case
I just thought you guys should know. If there's that I looked that up too.
Well, if it was a character from Harry Potter to invite for Thanksgiving, that would be a hard one to pick. There's so many cool animals.
Yeah.
I like the horses that you only see if you've had great loss. What are they called? Hippogriffs? No.
The hippogriffs is the one that's part bird, part horse.
Right.
Oh, they're pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having one of those.
Yeah.
But the wings,
maybe we should just have a Harry Potter Thanksgiving.
Oh, that would be fun.
That kind of would be fun, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think so.
Or a centaur. Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
Centaurs are sort of haughty, though.
So are some of my relatives.
Maybe the right game should be take all of your relatives and assign them a creature from Harry.
Oh, even better. And do it during Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
During Thanksgiving dinner.
I mean, you'll avoid politics and everybody will laugh. Yeah, that's the new. Send us a postcard.
Yeah, and send us. Yeah, and let us know.
And who are they sending the postcard to?
To Healthy Critters Radio, care of Biostar US, 1 Cleveland Street, Suite 800, Gordonsville, Virginia, 22942.
We look forward to your mailbox being full.
So funny.
Holidays, as fun and great as they are, can also be a time of great sadness for people. And it can also be a time of great reflection. And what I think is especially important is something that we all share as horse people and dog people, is that there are times that we have to say goodbye. And sometimes it's around a holiday, and sometimes it's before a holiday, and sometimes it's after a holiday. But it's something that we all share, and that's the connection with humanity that we really need to keep in mind in these times. And now we're at Critter Nutrition, and it's dealing with saying goodbye. Something that we all have to do with family and friends and our beloved four-leggeds. Lionheart had a good summer. He had a new companion, a feisty 20-year-old mare I adopted from a rescue. His coat shined and he spooked as usual whenever his water bucket was filled. He made ugly faces at the chickens if they dared to come into his stall, pawed when his meals were nanoseconds late, and rearranged his hay so that he could eat some of it on the other side of his stall guard. I referred to this as Lionheart eating on the veranda. Even at age 33, he could muster a quick canter to chase an errant Australian shepherd out of his paddock. The first thing he would do when he was turned out at night was to have a good roll in the grass. In late August, I started noticing some changes. He wasn't eating as much hay, and he took longer to eat his feed. Despite all my efforts, his top line wasn't improving, and his haunches were losing muscle. He was dappled, yes, but everything seemed to be slowing down, almost deteriorating. He stopped rolling during turnout, and his companion mare totally ignored him. There was a fragility to the Lionheart that was new. During the warm days of fall, he became more reactive to touch, spooking at my hand, reaching out for him, or setting the ground feeder down. Then there were days, good days, when he ate well, soft eyes, his body even looked okay, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I'm overreacting. However, in my heart, I knew that these glorious fall days would turn cold, frozen, and challenging for him. I didn't want him to suffer. I didn't want to get a phone call this winter when I'm in Florida telling me he colicked or went down and could not get up. I want to be with him when he passes. One afternoon, as he ate his soaked feed, I told him. When he finished eating, I took the bucket away, held out my hand for him to smell. He licked it, which was an unusual gesture on his part. I knew what he meant. We have an agreement. He is ready to go. Am I doing the right thing? There is a wrestling match we go through in our minds of not wanting to see our animals suffer or go into fatal health crises. On the other hand, we do not want to rush to end our four-legged friend's life. I made that mistake with my dog Ravenwolf. I waited too long. In my mind, I thought I was doing the right thing by waiting until all hope was extinguished. I will not do that again. Now that I've made the decision, I find myself tearing up at unexpected moments, driving my car to work and passing the farm where I used to board Lion during some of his competition years, walking past a photo of him in the living room or brushing by his ribbon collection. His saddle and bridle sit in the conference room at Biostar, and when I look at them, I blink the tears behind my eyes. The appointment with my vet is made. I choose a day that is predicted to be warm and sunny before the cold front moves in. Like water behind a dam, it feels like my grief is waiting for the moment he has passed so that the sorrow can flow unashamed and uncontrolled. He waits patiently for me to bring his food 3 times a day. I call his name. He whinnies in response. If I'm 30 minutes late, he paws and gives me the look. My Australian Shepherd Buckaroo waits out of range of a striking foreleg to steal a morsel that may have dropped to the ground. Lion has little tolerance for dogs, particularly in his personal space. I sit on an overturned bucket and watch him eat. Grateful that I have this time with him During these precious moments, I thank him and remember the 29 years we have spent together, longer than my marriage and definitely more empowering. There would be no Biostar without Lionheart. I would not be the person I am today if it were not for him. He taught me to listen with more than my ears, to observe without judgment, to be patient, calm, and to pay attention. Not only is he fed 3 times a day, he also gets a smorgasbord at each meal. A bucket with soaked alfalfa pellets, Renew Gold, Cool Stance, chia, hemp seed oil, and his supplements. He has 1 ground feeder with chaff hay and another ground feeder with soaked speedy beet and hay. Lion has gone his entire life free of metabolic disease. No IR, no Cushing's, no EPM, and no Lyme's. There is not one ingredient or Biostar supplement that Lion hasn't tested. I remember the day I pulled some kale out of the garden and gave him 1 long kale leaf. He smelled it, held it in his mouth, shook it like a green flag, and dropped it on the ground as if to say, I might eat this in a different form. I went into the house, ground up the kale leaf in my food processor, then added it to his feed. He gobbled it up. My old friend Michael Ravenhorse used to say, preparing a meal is preparing medicine. It can heal or it can harm. Put good thoughts into your food, Michael used to tell me. I mix the components in the feed bucket, thanking Lion with every stir of the spoon. I say, I love you 3 times, as if it is a spell, a touch of magic for immortality. Lion eats methodically, slowly. First the feed bucket, then the beet pulp, walks over and drinks water, then goes to the chaff hay. I watch him, talk to him, and sometimes run my hands down his neck and back. The feel of him, the wonder of him. The day comes and we take our last walk together up the hill. My vet follows quietly behind us. The sky is cloudless, a November blue. I press my head to his head as he stands, waiting. It is a moment of oneness, soul to soul. I thank him. I don't know how long I sit up on that hill beside him. I weep a river. Buckaroo, my Aussie, waits nearby like a guardian of my horse and my grief. In spiritual circles, it is often said to sit with your pain. That night, all I wanted to do is kill the pain by any self-destructive means possible. Chocolate, ice cream, cookies, pies. However, there isn't any in the house. I chastise myself for my poor planning. Didn't I know that after 29 years with Lion, I would fall apart? There are bottles of Guinness beer in the back of the fridge, Lion's favorite. He loved having a cold beer added to his feed on hot summer days. I don't drink beer, but seeing those bottles makes me want to drink one. My little voice whispers, you did the right thing. His spirit is free. Why, oh why doesn't that make me feel better? It's a process, grief and sorrow. Reality is reshaped with the passing of a loved one. A light went out of my life. I have to remind myself that Lion's light is shining somewhere else. Each day gets a little better. Friends phone me. I take calls from a few clients and try to get back to the new normal, the place without Lionheart in it. I keep reminding myself how lucky I am. I had all these years with him. I was able to retire him at my farm and give him 15 years of retirement. I was able to take care of him and learn from him. I think about funny Lion stories, like the day we spread sawdust in front of the shed row barn and how he spooked at it and then leapt over it to get into his stall. That was just 2 years ago. Or how he played with his friend enemy, King Henry the cat, who loved to walk along the top rail of the 3-board fence line and whom Lion would try to nudge off the fence. The cat would give Lion a few whacks on his nose and Lion would squeal and run away, only to return to try and knock the cat off again. I think of these funny Lion stories because when I think of them, I know he's always with me.
Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks to our sponsor, Biostar US. You can find them online at biostarus.com.
Get the Horse Radio Network phone app on iOS or Android by searching for Horse Radio Network in the App Store. It's free and easy to use.
For details about today's show, go to healthycrittersradio.com, where you can find links, photos, and more information about our guests.
As always, we love your feedback. Please follow us on Facebook under Healthy Critters Radio.
Be sure to visit all the great shows on Horse Radio Network at horseradionetwork.com.
Love your dog.
Hug your horse.
Feed your chickens.
Clean your litter box.
Dance with your goat.
Slither with your snakes.
Howl at the moon.
Hang with your hamster.
Party with your parrot.
Waddle with your walrus.
Outwit your otter.
Cuddle your cows.
Rap with your raptor.
Go chipping with your chipmunks.
Forgive your fox.
While hedging your hog.
We also recommend that you rack with your raccoon.
Gyrate with your giraffe.
Meditate with a meerkat.
Uber with your orangutan.
Facebook with your flamingo.
Ponder with your panda.
Walk with your Wookiee.
Yawn with your yak.
Twitter with your toucan.
Go raining with your reindeer.
Dropbox your dragon.